So we started to work on the monologues. It is of such huge importance. You must come from something, from a moment before. What would be such a moment? For example, there was a wonderful actor. So he came on stage in the classroom, which I like to call a stage, and he started speaking. I let him go on for 1 or 2 minutes, and then I stopped because I realized that he came on with a general interpretation, a general idea of what the monologue was. I did not even have to know about what he was talking about because I already could tell from the behavior that it was not a human behavior, but it was an actor's behavior. So you could see that he's an actor on stage performing a monologue, which is not what the audience needs to see. The audience needs to forget that that person is an actor. He needs to become a human being who's living in that moment actively on that stage. So I stopped him. What did you work on? The first thing that he said, oh, it is a sad monologue. But if you just come on stage because you know you have to do a monologue and there's the audience and you're looking around like this and you're saying words, then you don't have anywhere to go with it. You don't have an objective because you have nothing that you're trying to achieve. And you're actually taken away from the character. You're taken away from the complexity of the character because you're bringing the character to your acting in one note. And it's not fair to the characters that you play. You have to rise up to them. You have to give them all the notes. So he comes on stage, center stage, he has a paintbrush, and from the beginning, he's playing a general feeling of sadness, of anger. He's breaking the brush, he's saying the monologue, he remains center stage, one note for the 2 minutes monologue. So I stopped and I said, why am I stopping? Why do you think I'm stopping? Why do you think I'm stopping? You have to ask the questions. They have to come up with remembering that there are questions to be asked. And I said, why were you doing the monologue being sad? And he responded, well, the monologue is sad because this character is very dissatisfied with his work. He's not able to get the painting ready. And I said, okay, let's just go to the moment before, the thing that we're talking about. What is the moment before you come on? Because right now you're saying the monologue, I don't see a painting in the room. I don't see you taking the space in. That's another thing, the space. Where are you? You're not an actor on stage. Yes, you are in the first awareness in your mind. But then where are you as the character? How do you make that place personal and specific to you that will give you what you need to put fire under you to start the monologue? Actors, they come on stage as actors. This character that he was portraying was not an actor. He was a painter. Let's work on the moment before. What do you mean? Let's work on the moment before to create what the space is. What is the space? This is my home. Okay, tell me, using your senses, using your sight, I want you to visualize where your artwork is. Can you show where they are on the walls? He had to all of a sudden become active, which took him, the actor, from center stage and allowed him to move as a human being around the place, even turning the back to the audience, looking to see where his paintings. Only doing that physical turning puts the audience mind at ease because they are starting to see a human being moving about in a place, not on stage where they're always facing the audience. That's when we start to believe that what he is doing. Show me the painting, I said. Show me one of the paintings. Using the sense of touch, after you visualize it, you first see it, where on the wall is it? I want you to draw with your hand and touch the frame of it so you can let me know how big this particular canvas is, the one that you are now having a difficult time finishing because inspiration has left you. So as soon as he turns with the back to the audience, he's outlining with his hand the painting. It doesn't mean that you have to do it for 10 minutes. You do it for a moment just to create that. real for you. Because if you make it real, if you believe that there's a painting as the character, as the actor, by giving yourself that work that you must do, which is outlined with your hand in 1 second, the audience is going to believe it. And I said, go on and work and try to finish it, finish painting it, even though you have no inspiration. Before you start the monologue, let us see what the moment before is. Now using the space that is personal to you. It's not just a stage. You've turned it back to the audience. And he turns, he started going like very specifically and detailing on this imaginary painting, but that became a real painting to him, therefore to us watching. And then without me even giving him anything, because he already had a starting point that was already real and credible for himself, he takes the brush and he turns it, and with the end of it, he starts scratching. He starts scratching it, 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 because he doesn't like it. Because it's not what he wanted with it. Because he's lost his creativity as the character for the moment, and he knows his work is not good, and he can't get back to the work being good, so he scratches it. We see the imaginary painting being destroyed, and all of us were moving back in our seats because it became so real, because it became real for him. So when he went to the first line, of the monologue without having turned towards us from where he was, and he was destroying the painting. He then went to the first line. I'm not great as a painter, and this is my life, and this is my art. So by the time that he started the monologue, he was a completely different person. So when he moved away from it, because now the imaginary painting was falling down and he was looking at it, and then he took the brush and he ripped it and he threw it, and he was sliding off of the same wall that the painting was on before. And he ended up on the floor, lying down on his back, crying. There were so many different emotions. There was so much reality that was infused in that one simple monologue of 2 minutes. The actor, knowing the monologue, was gone because the character doesn't know the monologue. The character became alive when the actor is trying to create a reality, plus the merging of the given circumstances is what creates great behavior, is what creates great acting. It was beautiful. I mean, all of them were just superb. You have the power. There's so many opportunities to be creative. Don't pretend. That is bad acting. It's so funny because all of us speak in different languages, myself having Romanian and my first and English a second. And I was speaking to this one person, and after watching one of the shows that I really enjoyed was the show from Oman, which I thought was the closest to what I described acting to be. And it just moved me so much that I was very expressive in the way that I was demonstrating what I felt, and I was thanking them. And he says, and you're very, how do you say? So he takes out his phone and he's trying to look for the definition to find the word in English. You are very, he's going to say that I'm passionate. He's going to say I'm brilliant. He's going to say that I'm extraordinary. All of the things that we want to hear, you know. He says you are very, oh yes, yes. You are very narcissistic. You are narcissist. But it made me laugh so hard, and it made me feel so, still makes me laugh. Thank you to the artist of Cairo. Thank you so much to all the beautiful people, and especially the beautiful artists from the workshop. You have given me so much energy to keep me going for a long time. Thank you. Kisses. Thank you for listening. Hey Stella Podcast, episode 60. Ha, ha, ha. Thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.